What's good, YouTube? It's Nas and we back with another video. Road to 700 subscribers, of course. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics. And the last time I made a Boston Celtics video, the Celtics were, the third or fourth seed. Jaylen Brown was still playing amazing basketball, and it's really continued into that in January. Right now, the Celtics are the second seed, which I feel like nobody expected this. And there's rumors that Jason Tatum will possibly be returning this season, but this video is about Jaylen Brown, and this might be a hot take. Maybe y'all gonna criticize me, maybe y'all gonna dislike the video because of this, but I do think right now, if you would have to ask me who the MVP is, I would say Jaylen Brown. And obviously, it would be tough for Jaylen Brown to win MVP over the likes of Nikola Jokic when he obviously comes back later this week or in 2 weeks. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, obviously, this consistency that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is showing, and the Thunder being on top of the Western Conference right now and barely losing games. They're just starting to lose the games when it's almost midway through the season. So when you're looking at the Boston Celtics and you're looking at the talent on this team, I just thought there was no way that the Boston Celtics were going to compete without their so-called best player. And obviously, I knew Jaylen Brown was capable of somewhat of the season that he's having right now. But all across the boards, what he's doing for the Boston Celtics as a whole is just something that I did not expect. Like, obviously, we knew the shot attempts was going to happen. The tough, difficult shots, having the ball in his hands. He has, obviously, this is one of the most ball-dominant seasons in NBA history, and they need every single part of it. Without Jaylen Brown on this team and what he's doing right now, I feel like the Celtics will be losing a lot of these games by 20 points. Yes, there's going to be an occasional game where obviously everybody steps out of their body and hoops, but this whole team right now, it focuses and it rallies around Jaylen Brown. And this is something that a lot of people didn't think Jaylen Brown was capable of doing, being this 1A, being this number one guy. And they asked Jaylen Brown a question how was it sitting and watch the Anthony Simon show when he had 39 the other day against the Miami Heat when they won. And he's like, I played with Jason Tatum. I had to sit in the corner, watch him ISO and take over the game. It's nothing new to me. Just because this season where I have to take over a lot of the games, having Anthony Simons helps him out because that adds another scorer to obviously this Boston Celtics team, which I feel like the only weapon, or I felt like before the season, the only weapons were Jaylen Brown and Derek White. And Derek White is not even having the season that I thought he would have. But since I made that video, Derek White has stepped up his production a lot. Derek White right now is averaging 18 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists. He's shooting 39% from the field and 33% from the three. And I feel like his efficiency is going up because when I made that video in December, his efficiency was like, in the mid-30s? Now it's getting towards the 40s. So it's good for Derek White to see the ball go in. And obviously, as the Boston Celtics keep going up the standings, hopefully, or maybe they pass the Pistons. They're not too far off from the Pistons, but they passed the Knicks with flying colors because the Knicks went on a losing streak. And right now, if you would have to ask me who's the better team, I would say the Boston Celtics are better than the New York Knicks right now. Second part of this video just corrupted, so I'm going to try to make this work. But I think it's crazy how obviously the New York Knicks came into the season with all these expectations, and really over this month of January, they haven't lived up to it. And now you have the Celtics, who obviously nobody really believed in them. If you're going to say you believed in them, you're lying unless you're a Boston Celtics fan. So yeah, like you have all these expectations for the New York Knicks, and obviously the Boston Celtics losing their best player, and you're seeing, or you're going to see, or you want to see actually, what do you have in Jaylen Brown? Can Jaylen Brown be this number one option? Can Jaylen Brown be the guy? And I feel like when looking at this season, you're looking at the Boston Celtics, you could just tell how much this roster actually believes in themselves. You could tell how much Jaylen Brown believes in himself. Like he said, he's been capable of doing this. And I don't think he's wrong, because I remember a couple seasons ago where obviously Jason Tatum went out for a couple games and Jaylen Brown had to hold down the fort, and he did that easily. And this season, I'm not going to lie, I did not expect Jaylen Brown to obviously come out the gates the way Jaylen Brown is playing right now. Like Jaylen Brown, like I said in the first minute of the video, Jaylen Brown right now is my MVP. And I can't say that I expected Jaylen Brown to be in the MVP category because I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe I was a dickhead, but I expected the Boston Celtics to be a play-in team, and that's not what they are. They are a really good team. They have a really good defense, and they have a really good offensive scheme because we all know how the Boston Celtics play. They are a three-point heavy team, and Jaylen Brown isn't as three-point heavy as Jason Tatum, and they're still making it work. They're letting Jaylen Brown play his game in the isolation, getting to the mid-range, getting to the rim. So when you're looking at Jaylen Brown, when he's having career highs around the board, even his efficiency is up with these averages. This season, Jaylen Brown is averaging 29.5 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, and basically 5 assists. His highest assist season ever. And when you're looking at his scoring, it's up too. So you can't really say that he's going nut for real. And this season, he's averaging, or his efficiency is 49% from the field and 36% from the three. This is his highest percent from the three since the 2020-2021 season, which is kind of crazy, where he averaged 39.5% from the three. But looking at Jaylen Brown and looking at this Boston Celtics, you could just, I don't know, like it's hard not to believe in them after the way they're playing basketball or the way they're playing basketball now, because you would just assume that everything goes through Jaylen Brown, which it does. He has, like I said earlier, he has the most, or he's top 10 with ball dominance in NBA history this season. But the Boston Celtics have needed all of that. And Anthony Simons this season, coming off the bench in his role specifically being going to get a bucket. When you come in a game, go get a bucket. And in Portland, he had the keys. He could take any shot he wants. This season, when he comes off the bench, he can still take any shot. And that game where he stepped up and had 39 points, I'm like, yeah, Anthony. And they asked Jaylen Brown a question whether, how was it letting Anthony Simons go into work and going to sit in the corner? And Jaylen Brown was like, I played with Jason Tatum basically my entire career. I've had to watch Jason Tatum take over games. This isn't new to me. Just because I'm the number one option in this team this season, it's not new to me. But looking at that, this season, Anthony Simons is averaging 14 points per game, 2.5 rebounds to 2.5 assists, shooting 44% from the field and 40% from the three. His best efficiency season in a lot of years, or ever, basically. Derek White, he was struggling before when I made that video in December. This season, Derek White is averaging 18 points per game, 4.5 rebounds and 5.5 assists, shooting 39% from the field and 33% from the three. He's still getting his efficiency back up because, like I said, Derek White was struggling heavy to start the season. So it's good that Derek White has been playing good basketball ever since the month of December. And Payton Pritchard, I talked about Payton in the last video, but Payton Pritchard is averaging career highs across the board. He's averaging 16.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists, being this point guard that obviously the Boston Celtics need. And looking at the Boston Celtics being the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, which everybody's fighting for playoff position right now, and nobody really in the NBA world not being worried about the Boston Celtics making the playoffs, when I thought that was a foregone conclusion that people would be worried about it. I just think it speaks to the levels of what the Boston Celtics are doing and how they're playing right now, because I find it kind of hard not to believe in the Boston Celtics right now. And that's crazy, because if you would have asked me a couple months ago, I would have said they're a playing team. But yeah, y'all let me know how y'all feel about Jaylen Brown in the Boston Celtics. Do y'all agree with me that he is an MVP candidate? Y'all let me know down below. Subscribe. What's good, y'all? If y'all made it to the end of the video, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And there's a video right here. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it if you like this one. And the channel icon's right there if you want to just check out the channel in general. And yeah, leave a like too, because it really helps the algorithm push me out. And yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching this video nonetheless.